I got my carpet rolled out for you. People got the popcorn. Let's give them a show.
Breeze wants it off.
Frank Gore, the new generation, a great running back.
He makes a great catch. He's in for a score.
How does he do it?
Shockey touchdown. Makes the catch. Got it. He's got it. Touchdown.
And that, my friends, was power of football.
LT got a burst. There he goes.
Handoff Johnson.
Into the end zone.
Goes upfield. Perfect strike by Manning.
He got it. What a catch. Touchdown. 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 85. Andre Johnson. Sensational play.
Big play. My big players. Big game. It's like Showtime today. You want respect in life, you earn it. We earn it by go hit them in the mouth all night long.
Oh, what a hit.
Forget it, Devin Hester. You are ridiculous. Charger fans are witnesses to history.
The Pro Bowl has moved down to Honolulu, where the USS Missouri is stationed or docked in Pearl Harbor, which is just down the road from Aloha Stadium, site of the 2007 Pro Bowl. And on Friday in Aloha Stadium, the practices for said Pro Bowl concluded, and now we're getting ready for the actual game. My name is Rich Eisen, pleased to be joined by a man whose name is a part of the ring around the stadium here. Is one of the most outstanding players of Pro Bowl past, and that is Marshall Faulk. How are you there, Marshall?
I'm good, Rich.
You ready for a game or what?
I'm ready to see this game. Both coaches are talking about doing some things and playing some guys out of position.
Yeah.
They have trick plays lined up. I want to see if Devin Hester will return one in the Pro Bowl also.
And I want to see if, as you mentioned, they're going to see some trick plays. We've seen some trick plays installed in the NFC side of things all week long. And we watched the NFC come out for practice on this day. That's not very tricky. Tony Romo right there, and Mark Bolger just airing it out, if you will. Connor Payton, son of Sean Payton, the head coach, collected himself quite a few autographs. And Devin Hester, you said you want to see him bust one. Why not, right?
Without a doubt, Rich.
So Tony Romo, again, is getting ready for his first Pro Bowl, finding Steve Smith, and then finding his regular teammate, Jason Witten, Drew Brees, going up top right here to Max Strong. That'll be an interesting sort of combination if that happens. At any rate, there's your Tiki Barber halfback pass. I want to see that.
I want to see him pull it out. They normally work in these games, Rich.
Sean Payton says Jimmy Buffett gave him the idea to do that. That's the Jimmy Buffett play. DeMarcus Ware right there. He's got a new head coach. And our Kara Henderson caught up with him.
We're with DeMarcus Ware, first-time Pro Bowler, right?
That's really nice.
You are part of one of the biggest news pieces of this week, and that Wade Phillips is going to be your new head coach. Your eyes opened up big there. What does that mean for you?
I mean, I know how great he is as a, just a 3-4 guy, and we've been running that with the Cowboys. I think he's going to be a great attribute down there for us. I mean, I'm just ready to meet him and, learn as much as I can from him and get ready for the season.
How excited were you with his hiring in the sense that you did not have to try and change back to a 4-3 defense, that you could keep the 3-4 that you guys have been working on?
Yeah, I think that's great because a lot of the guys, they got used to the 3-4 and then they had the 4-3, so they just got used to the 3-4 from the last season. So it'll be a carryover, probably a different terminology and stuff like that. But I think everybody's going to just get clicking like we were earlier and just keep going.
Sean Merriman, I'm sure, is going to miss having Wade Phillips. What did he tell you about how he can mentor you in your position?
He told me that he's going to let you really get pressure on the quarterback. That's one of the main things that defenses try to do is get pressure on the quarterback, because I think they had 61 sacks last year, and I mean that's awesome. And to bring something like that to the Cowboys, a scheme like that, that's something that we need with the talent that we have. So it's going to work out really great.
Thanks a lot, DeMarcus.
Right, thank you.
As for the AFC practice, there's Peyton Manning with Marvin Harrison, 2 Super Bowl champs right there. Vince Young, who's going to stop by our set later on in this edition of NFL Total Access. There are the lights out. And what about this? What about that moment?
Nice option right there, Peyton Manning.
Do you think that's in there?
I don't know about that one.
Oh, boy. That is for sure. Manning to Andre Johnson for sure. Carson Palmer. He is the third AFC quarterback. Dumping one off to Larry Johnson right there. Now, Bill Belichick
taking on Sean Merriman.
Why not? Why not? So you heard how Sean Merriman lost his defensive coordinator. Antonio Gates lost his offensive coordinator to the Miami Dolphins, and Adam Schefter caught up with him.
Antonio Gates, the Chargers Pro Bowl tight end, rough off-season for your coaching staff. Did you ever expect to lose the number of coaches that you did?
You know what? In this league, man, it's a very tough business. And anytime you win 14 games, you always know there's going to be some changes made, you know, for the better, for the worse. It still remains to be seen, but we knew, you know, some changes was going to be made. We had a great coaching staff to play with this past year. You know, the team, we've talked, you know, and we wish them all the best of luck.
You lost your tight ends coach, Rob Chaszynski, to the Browns. He becomes their offensive coordinator when he could have become the Chargers offensive coordinator, replacing Cam Cameron. How disappointing to lose the guy that you worked with last year?
You know, I think the continuity is what's in disappointment. Obviously, like I said, this is a tough business, and certain things that the players can't control is whether or not the coaches stays. And that's one thing you've learned from being in this business, and, you know, my 4 years in the league. And it's just time to move forward. And, you know, like I said, I've talked to Coach Chud, and I wished him all the best of luck. And obviously, he's still going to be in contact with me for advice. But for the most part, I found that I have a very good tight end coach and a new Falcons, you know, the old Falcons coach. So I'm excited to meet him.
Antonio, all the Cowboy fans want to know, how is Wade Phillips going to fare as the Dallas head coach?
Great. You know, one thing about the San Diego Chargers is that, you know, we definitely recruit, you know, great coaches, you know, great guys that's being able to reach out to their players. And Wade did a great job on the defensive side this year, and I'm quite sure he'll do a great job in Dallas.
Thanks so much for the time today. Pro Bowl tight end, Antonio Gates.
Do you ever have to go through a situation like that?
You know what?
Your coaching staff got decimated in one offseason?
Not like that, not like that, and that's a tough one to overcome, Rich. When you look at what they've lost in Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, and Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator. When you lose two guys of their caliber and they go off to be head coaches, you have to replace them, and that continuity. He spoke about it. Gates said the key word. That's continuity, and without continuity, you know, you got to redevelop that. So they're going to get accustomed to new plays called on both sides of the balls and situations where they're used to knowing what to expect, what's going to be called. It's going to be different.
Oh, the head coach that many observers believe to be a lame duck, guy who's got no other contractual backup, I guess, in Marty Schottenheimer at this point. I mean, he's just coming back, and he turned down a contract extension, something that we've talked about on NFL Total Access. Do you think that is going to affect the San Diego Chargers going into next season? Not only just what's going on with Marty Schottenheimer, but the fact that they have starting with a whole bunch of new coaches.
You know, it will affect him, but I think that Marty is a good enough coach that, you know, he knows how to overcome this. He's been through this before, and he will replace those guys with just as good or if not better coaching.
Oh, it's Sean Merriman's loss, as we heard. It's DeMarcus Ware's gain. The same goes for Roy Williams, who's got a new head coach in Wade Phillips, a defensive-minded head coach in Wade Phillips. We will ask Roy Williams about that when he visits our set, NFL Total Access at Ohana Day, the family day of practice week, when we come back. Tony Romo, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, out on the field. He is definitely one of the more popular first-time Pro Bowlers here in Honolulu, getting ready, along with Mark Bulger, to take on the AFC squad on Saturday. And joining us right now on the NFL Total Access set in Aloha Stadium is one of Tony Romo's Pro Bowl teammates, as well as from the Dallas Cowboys, and that is Roy Williams. How are you there, Roy?
All right, how you doing?
You have let's hear you. Let's hear you on your new coach. What do you have to say about your new coach?
I'm excited. Coach Phillips, I think he's going to do some great things with us. I'm very excited about, you know, when he said that he's going to have our defensive line moving around. That's something that our defensive line is going to be looking forward to, and it's going to hopefully present opportunities for me to make more plays.
So a lot of people have been wondering, you know, why the Cowboys took so long. They spoke to so many different people. Were you one of them during this process, saying, when are we going to hear what's what?
You know, Jerry kept me posted. He called me on the cell phone.
Oh, really? Jerry hit you on the head?
Never. You know, that's what Jerry and Steven do. They take their time to make sure that it's right. And they don't ever rush into a deal. and that's what they did. I mean, I wasn't never worried or concerned about who was going to be the coach. I just knew it was going to be the right decision because they take their time and they make sure that it's the right decision for the ball club and our team.
New head coach, other new coaches. What does it take for the Dallas Cowboys to get back to prominence?
We don't need much, you know. I really think that Wade Phillips is he's gonna give that spark that we need. And hearing from the other athletes that he previously coached, I mean, they're excited that we have him because they just think he's such a passionate coach. And I think that's what we're gonna need, you know what I'm saying, to get the Cowboys back to where we need to be.
You think that after having Parcells and how he handled the media, that Wade will be able to handle the media with America's team and the following that you guys have?
I don't think he's going to even worry about the media. I mean, the media is the media. Everybody, you've been around the media your whole life, I mean, as a coach, and I don't think the media is going to play a part in this. It's going to be how we react and how we respond to Wade challenging us.
And now he's part of the media.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm a hybrid.
You're a hybrid. Player / paparazzi. Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk. So what is it like out there with Sean Payton running things? You know Sean from the Dallas days.
Yeah.
Now there he is the freshly minted coach of the year in a Pro Bowl position as a head coach.
It's cool. I mean, it's laid back. It's not serious, and everybody's just having fun. I mean, their motto is to have fun, have a lot of fun, to have more fun. So I mean, I'm excited. We're having a good time, and I'm happy that it's a hat day today. And only time I get to see a hat day in football is here in the Pro Bowl, so I'm excited.
There were no Parcells hat days?
Never. Full pads all day, every day.
Nope.
So.
Full pass on Friday?
Except for Friday.
Okay,
It's
all right.
shoulder pads.
That's like full pass.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
So, it's crazy. It's cool, though.
Which are the guys that I guess are you getting to know this year? You've been here a few times. Have you gotten to know anybody for the first time this year?
Adrian Wilson and Sean Taylor, those are some good guys. And just learning them. And I mean, you know, playing against, you know, Adrian and Sean, it's, you know, you're just like, you know, you grow another respect for when you speak to them and you talk to them and hear their intellect, and you don't think that they're, you know, your enemy. You just think of now those two guys are my friends.
Right.
And that's how I see it now.
You know, you've been in the game for a long time, and your quarterback, Tony Romo, had the play. And I was just wondering, did you call him? Did you give him any confidence boosters about how to handle the situation and how to come back from it? Because things happen in this league. There's always adverse situations, and they challenge you, and they make you better. Not just as a football player, but as a person.
You know, after the play, you know, Tony was so broken up, over the play when he dropped the ball, and he was on a plane crying hysterically, man. And you know, I just looked at him. I was like, look, you know, this is a great challenge for you to see how you're gonna bounce back from that. And are you gonna tank ship and, you know what I'm saying, and not respond? Or you gonna be man enough to say, yeah, I messed up, and you know what I'm saying, it's a new year and I'm gonna do better. And I think he's gonna say, I'm a new man and I'm gonna do better.
And he's holding in this game.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, because think about it. I mean, it's really not Sean Payton's job as a coach for Pro Bowl to try and get Tony Romo back on that horse. But obviously, they have a history, these two guys. And it just seems interesting to me that it was one of the first things Sean Payton said was, you're going to be our holder this week.
That's the first thing he said. And
it was the first thing he said in the meeting this week with the NFC? Was the first thing he said? One of
the first things, yes. He was like, Tony, you're going to be holding. And, you know, a couple of the guys were like, oh, my gosh. But I was like, yeah, he's going to be holding. You know, just don't be doing that. You know, this is no life or death situation. And if it was, I would put my hands in Tony holding any snap, any day.
And I don't know if are you familiar with Jason Garrett and what he brings to the offensive side of the ball, but what are your thoughts of that? Him as the offensive coordinator?
I really don't know much right now, but I mean, I got to do some research. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, any offensive coordinator coming in the situation that we have some explosive players. We have great young players, and we have, you know, some vets that, you know, can be a game breaker at any time. So I mean, he's coming into a good situation, and we are too, for even having a new offensive coordinator.
Well, Roy, thanks for coming on.
Nah, man,
you
I
always come on the show. We love that.
Yeah, I'm
part of
trying
our
to go
commercials.
in the studio, though.
You're a big fan of. We're a big fan of yours. One of our producers, Chris Wirtz, can't stop talking about you.
Well, I appreciate that.
You got it. You got it. Roy Williams joining us here on NFL Total Access here at the Pro Bowl. And there's Tony. And That's really loose. I think he's got to tighten up that throw, don't you think?
Yeah, those are done.
All right. We'll be back with more from Aloha Stadium. Even some of the AFC players would be hard-pressed to say they don't want to see Devin Hester run one back in the Pro Bowl. Kara Henderson stopped him earlier.
So, Devin, this is your first Pro Bowl. What do you think of the whole week?
Just trying to come out and enjoy myself. This being my first time, my first opportunity getting able to select in the Pro Bowl, and just trying to get a feel of the players and learning a lot from the vets, and just taking it from there.
Yours was certainly the highlight from the Bears for the Super Bowl. How many times have you watched that play? What was going through your mind when you're making that return?
I watched it about 3-4 times so far, and just going through that play, just kind of wanted to come out and just set the tempo. We knew we were getting an opportunity on special team to come out, first play of the ball game, and try to set the tone, and that's basically what we did. We came out a big return, and kind of wanted to keep that tempo going, but unfortunately was unable to win the game. So other than that, it was a very learning experience.
Obviously, losing the Super Bowl is one of the toughest things you have to go through as a football player. Does this take the sting off this week, hanging around all these guys and kind of picking their brains?
Oh, most definitely. It kind of gets your mind off the loss that we had last week, and trying to go out and relax and just take it day by day and get a feel of the vets and just trying to learn from them.
One of the things is that this is the Pro Bowl for the punters, too. So they don't want to just kick it out of bounds.
Right.
Do you expect a kick come into your direction in the game?
Oh, most definitely. We just like they say, I asked all of them, I said, how is the kicking game going to be this week? And they just say it's just going to be a basic kicking game. We're just trying to come out and have fun and just give you good punts. So hopefully it'll be very exciting and we'll get an opportunity to make some plays.
And real quick, how's the track here? How's the track? You think you can run it back on this?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Given the opportunity, I'm hoping that we can make the best of it.
Thanks a lot, Devin.
No problem.
All right, now it's time for an Ohana Day League spinning from Adam Schefter. Adam, for only the third time in the last 22 years, the leading pass catcher for touchdowns in the regular season, is not in the Pro Bowl. That person is Terrell Owens, and his 13 touchdown receptions not here. Of course, there's always a presence when it comes to Terrell Owens, and that always means what's going to happen with his new head coach. What can you tell us about that relationship?
Well, Rich, one of the big decisions that Wade Phillips is going to contribute to in Dallas is whether or not to bring back Terrell Owens at wide receiver for the Cowboys. Here's what Wade and Jerry Jones will have to decide. Is it worth bringing back one of the most talented receivers in the game, or is it worth saving $6.4 million against the cap and $8 million in cash and getting rid of T.O.? That's one of the biggest decisions that Wade Phillips will help make in conjunction with Jerry Jones.
So the San Diego Chargers have now lost both their coordinators to the coaching carousel this offseason. What do the Chargers do with a defensive coordinator now?
Well, the disappointing part for San Diego is this, that on offense, they could have promoted Rob Chudzinski to take Cam Cameron's spot, but Rob Chudzinski took the Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator job. And on defense, they could have promoted Greg Minuski, but he took the 49ers coordinator's job. Now they're left with fewer options. But one of the main options right now is John Pagano, the outside linebackers coach for San Diego. He is expected to be the next defensive coordinator in San Diego, although I've also been hearing that Ted Cottrell, the former Vikings defensive coordinator, could wind up in San Diego as one of the assistants on the defensive side of the football.
And Adam, after the NFC practice was over, Frank Gore visited the NFL Total Access set and was just ecstatic over the idea that he's not losing Norv Turner. I assume these Niners organization as a whole feels the same.
Oh, they're very happy about this, Rich. Norv Turner right now has 1 year left on his existing contract, but the 49ers are going to extend that contract and add money onto it just to keep Norv Turner. They know how valuable he has been to that offense and the development of their young quarterback, Alex Smith. They did not want to lose him to Dallas. They did not lose him to Dallas, and now they will reward Norv Turner for staying in San Francisco.
The Denver Broncos contingent here at the Pro Bowl, remembering their fallen comrade this weekend. What are they going to do?
Well, John Lynch and Champ Bailey wanted to wear the jersey number 27 to honor Darren Williams, who lost his life on New Year's Eve in a senseless drive-by shooting. The league would not allow that, so it looks like John Lynch and Champ Bailey will wear the number 27 decal on their helmets for Saturday's Pro Bowl, their way to honor their lost teammate.
All right, and always at Pro Bowls, there are interesting bedfellows for sure. It's such a relaxed atmosphere. And the coaching staff spent some time together recently.
And got to know each other very well. Bill Belichick, the Patriots coach, and Sean Payton, the Saints coach, took their staffs together on a fishing outing, sort of like a field trip that you kind of take in school, Rich, back in the day. And the way that Sean Payton recalled it, he said it was like the scene out of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that kind of fishing trip. So Bill Belichick apparently is quite the fisherman, too, in addition to being a pretty good football coach.
That's no surprise there. Maybe he's the modern-day Lombardi with the rod and reel as well. Who knows, Adam?
No question about it, Rich.
We appreciate Adam Schefter always spinning us around the league as he does here on the Friday before the Pro Bowl for 2007. That's around the league. When we come back, we will send things over to our Los Angeles studio across the Pacific, and we'll hold down the fort as best we can here in Hawaii. All the latest news that Adam didn't touch on next.
Our coverage from Hawaii at the Pro Bowl continues. Get you out to Rich Eisen and Marshall Falk in just a moment. Darren Horton in our NFL Network studios. Earlier this week, USC landed highly touted running back Joe McKnight. Now the school is looking into whether or not they may have violated NCAA recruiting rules after signing McKnight made a comment which suggested that he had spoken with the Saints' Reggie Bush. Former players are prohibited from telephoning recruits. Pete Carroll denies any such call took place. Shopping for a linebacker. Well, on the market. On March 2nd, in free agency, Donnie Edwards will be available on Thursday. Tom Condon, Edwards' agent, confirmed that A.J. Smith has sent them a letter stating that Edwards would not be re-signed. This despite the fact that Edwards has led the Chargers in tackles in each of the past 5 seasons and led all NFL linebackers with 17 interceptions since 2002. Also soon to be on the market is Bills cornerback Nate Clements, although his agent Todd France says his client is open to re-signing with the Bills if the team makes a competitive offer on March 2nd. Clements would likely become the most coveted defensive back in free agency. He's a 6-year vet and former Pro Bowler. Bengals defensive end Justin Smith may not make it to the open market. His agent says he wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals use the franchise tag on him. Smith is one of 4 Bengals with at least 40 career sacks. Around the league, Redskins left tackle Chris Samuels will have his left knee surgery following his appearance in the Pro Bowl. And for the second straight day, the Colts lost an assistant coach. Defensive quality control aide Dyron Reynolds was hired by the Dolphins as their new defensive line coach. And for those players getting set to make the jump from college to the pro ranks, NFL Network has you covered for the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. Exclusive coverage beginning February 22nd through February 28th. 26 hours of original programming will be coming at you that week, including NFL Total Access live at the Combine and live coverage of 300 NFL hopefuls. Well, time now to continue our month-long celebration of the accomplishments of African-American pro football players during this Black History Month by commemorating a living legend who is in his prime. In 2006, LaDainian Tomlinson had one of the most explosive seasons in NFL history. He annihilated one of the most heralded records in league annals, the single-season touchdown mark. It was the latest chapter in a career that will likely conclude in Canton. In recognition of Black History Month, we present Fields of Glory, African-American pioneers in pro football. Today, we salute San Diego Chargers running back LaDainian Tomlinson. Simply known as LT, the man who shares his nickname with a certain Hall of Fame linebacker is blazing his own pathway toward Canton. In 2006, Tomlinson set multiple records in one of the greatest offensive seasons the NFL has ever witnessed. He carried the Chargers to their best ever regular season record, and in doing so, he set a new NFL benchmark in touchdowns scored.
And the handoff to Tomlinson, left side, and he will gallop into the end zone. Charger fans are witnesses to history.
At year's end, Tomlinson totaled 31 touchdowns and scored 186 points, breaking Paul Hornung's 46-year-old record for most points in a season. LT's stellar play was further highlighted by his versatility, as he threw for 2 touchdowns and was on the receiving end of 3 more. A scoring threat on any given play, Tomlinson became the fastest player ever to reach 100 touchdowns, accomplishing the milestone in 89 games. It was all part of a season that would earn LT his first Most Valuable Player award. He was also the co-recipient of the 2006 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award. In just 6 seasons, Tomlinson has become the Chargers' all-time rushing leader and surpassed Hall of Famer Lance Allworth as the franchise's all-time touchdown leader. Renowned for his work ethic and humility, Tomlinson is a 4-time Pro Bowler that shies away from personal accolades. Often praised, he chooses instead to give credit to those around him. Still, his individual talents are undeniable. He continues to set NFL records at a blistering pace, and with each passing season, the native of Rosebud, Texas, finds his way that much closer to Canton, Ohio. For that, we salute LaDainian Tomlinson on the fields of glory, African-American pioneers in pro football. After tabulating 4.4 million votes on the America's Game website, the fans have spoken and ranked the top 20 Super Bowl teams of all time. And on Sunday, beginning at 4 a.m. Eastern, NFL Network will present a marathon of the top 20 Super Bowl teams as voted by the fans, beginning with number 20. And by 11 p.m., we will have worked our way all the way to number 1, which are the 85 Bears. When we return, NFL Total Access continues from Hawaii. Commissioner Roger Goodell and 10-time Pro Bowler Derek Brooks join Rich Eisen and Marshall Faulk when our coverage from the Pro Bowl continues.
Welcome back to Aloha Stadium, site of the 2007 Pro Bowl on Saturday, inside of NFL Total Access on the Friday before the Pro Bowl, and guests colliding. On the way to the set, the commissioner of the National Football League, Roger Goodell, ran into our guests in our next segment, Vince Young. And we're pleased to be joined on the set, not only by the commissioner of the NFL, but to his left, the most outstanding player of last year's Pro Bowl, Derek Brooks. How are you, Commissioner?
It's good to see you, Rich.
Good to see
great.
you again.
Glad to be here.
Derek, great to have you on this program.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
I don't need to sing his praises, do I? I mean, the league knows about this guy.
He's fantastic, both on and off the field.
Absolutely. What are you up to? I mean, what aren't you up to is the first question for you.
Well,
you always seem to have more than just football going on.
Obviously, our charter school that my foundation got awarded in Tampa this past season in November. So I'm head, heels, elbows, fingernails, all into getting that charter school open in August. So that's a big thing that we're doing now, trying to sneak a little golf in here or there in between working out for football.
Well, you can relate that whole thing about talking about community and trying to sneak a little golf in, too, from time to time as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the golf has taken a back seat for a while.
I bet it has. When the league hears about things, endeavors like the ones that Derek Brooks are on, I imagine you just want to let the whole world know, Commissioner, right, when you hear about that sort of stuff?
We do, and we have so many players that do so many great things in their communities. Derek has clearly been a leader for a long time down in the Tampa area, and we have so many great players that are doing great things, and we try to help support them. NFL Charities tries to support their foundations, and we're just very proud of what they do.
Hey, Commissioner, I was just wondering, I can call you Commish, right?
Of course you can.
Well, you just did, so.
I just wanted to make sure that that was okay.
Well.
As opposed to what?
Roger? You know?
You could do that, too.
Okay. I was just wondering, get back to your, you addressed the state of the league. Could you address your first year? Can you assess it right now as to how things worked out for you your first year as the commissioner?
Well, Marshall, it's all about the game. It's not about commissioners. Nobody really cares. It's about the game, and it's about our great players and our great coaches, and two of them are here. And I just think, from my standpoint, as long as the fans are happy with the game and the players and the coaches are able to produce the great results that they've been able to produce, my job is easy from there.
And I agree. That's why I think in our labor talks last year, that on the player side as well as NFL side, when you kept hearing everybody say that it's not going to happen and the deadline's getting extended, I think both sides realize that the game is more important than what we are as players and what the league is as administrators. And I really want to commend your efforts. I know you were involved with Commissioner Tagliabue at the time in getting these things accomplished. And as a player and a fan of football, I'm glad we didn't have to go through that, and we did keep all the things that were important ahead of us and got it done.
Well, it's our job to keep the game strong on the field. That's our job, and we got to keep that and make a relationship that works for both the players and the league.
How was your first Super Bowl experience?
We had a great time, and it was a great football game, so that always helps too. But it was, even though the rain dampened things a little bit, it was just a great event.
Yeah, sure was. And now it's in 2 years it's going to be in your house, right, Derek?
Yes, it is. 2 years? And hopefully we may be the first team to host. You know what? I always wonder if a host team plays in their own city. do they have to stay in the hotel or would they have to stay at home?
The best one is, do you practice at your own facilities?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what.
They will, yes, that's correct.
So has
that would be a huge advantage.
Didn't the Niners played in Palo Alto once? I think they played in the Palo Alto Super Bowl once. That's as close as it's ever.
Yeah,
it's ever happened.
That would be a huge advantage if you got to be in your own meeting rooms, locker room. Huge advantage.
Well, let's look at the other stuff. Like that's because you're at home. I think some other things can become a distraction. That's not a part of the game. So I always wanted with a coach.